Now, we had to have a police department. So we went out, we bought a brand new red Ford station wagon. Now, it was an ugly red Ford station wagon. It was brand new, but the dealer had it for a year. It was the last model year, but he couldn't get rid of it. So that was our squad car. And we had police painted on the side of it. And now the trustees and the mayor, we were not only the public works, we were the police department. Now I read the book, and it said in the book that the mayor, by law, was the town marshal. And the town marshal could delegate his police authority. So I delegated my police authority. We bought badges, and everybody was a policeman that was an elected official. We had annexed all this land around River Road, and between Foster Avenue on the south and Devon Avenue on the north, there was 5 of these places. There was a Ginger Snap, the Orchard. Oh, you don't want to know the names. I don't think any of you were there. But now we had our police department, and we had our red squad car. So now we had to get rid of these bad places. Because we didn't want to be known as a mobbed up town. So I knew how to do this because I'd seen it in B movies and I saw it on television. So I called my volunteer police officers to my house, and only I knew where we were going. So I had my red squad car and my volunteers, and we went and we took one of these places on River Road. We knocked the door down. Now today, you couldn't do that. I'm glad the statute of limitations is run. But anyway, we did. We knocked the door down, and there was a man in there. Actually, there was 2 men in there. One was a customer. He ran, and again, I can tell you these things today. I had a gun, and I shot a couple holes in the trunk of his car as he ran out. One of my volunteers said, "Mayor, should we go after him?" I said, "No, I don't think so. Let him just explain to his wife the bullet holes." So, anyway, we took these 3 ladies of the night and their salesperson, and we took them to a lockup that we had made arrangements with if we had a prisoner. We didn't have a jail in Franklin Park. So we locked them up in Franklin Park. Anything we could figure out now to get rid of these, we started something that, again, today wouldn't be accepted. We went there and we wrote down license numbers, and we literally harassed them. And after a few months of just harassing them, there were no more houses of ill repute. They didn't like to be harassed. So that's how we got rid of them.
Compared to last year. Perhaps it was the unseasonable warm spring temperatures or the demolition of nearly all the high-rise public housing that has scattered thousands of gang members into rival territories. But the fact is, in some South and West Side neighborhoods, it's guns, drugs, and gangs.
We have a very specific gang problem here. It's tied to narcotics, but it's a gang problem. Which is different than New York, certainly, or the East Coast.
That is typically filled with heroin. They cut down a straw and snort it right out of the baggie.
With nearly 70,000 members, Chicago is the most gang-populated city in America. That, according to the FBI.
All right, hands on top of your head, and I'll go around to the back.
AP spent several days embedded with the Chicago Police narcotic and gang units. We rode along day and night, observing and documenting the conflicts and police strategy. Right now we're in a pursuit of one of the young men that just ran. As they hit up targeted spots and chase down criminals making arrests.
Hands on your back. All right, you're under arrest.
All this based on months of undercover investigations that has led to each police takedown. The goal? To curb the shooting and lock up the dealers, ranging from low-level street thugs to Mexican cartel operations in Chicago.
Seizing the guns, holding on to those markets, and attacking the lifeblood of the gangs, which is the narcotics trade.
It's really not about who's in what gang. It's all about the money.
We talked to the gang members. We talked to the police. What they told us is it's more complex than any of us can imagine. And perhaps gangs as we know it are changing.
Put your hands behind your back.
There's no control. There's no leaders.
At only 23, Devon Timms was raised by drug dealers. He describes his young life as a gang member of the prominent Chicago vice lords as something he has known since birth. And he has ideas on why the surge in violence.
There are sets now young guys do, and they take their own morals and understand as to what they believe in and make it into what they do, which is a lot of chaos.
Historically, in the past, the gangs were very organized from the top down. Now, they're very splintered.
A double-edged sword for police who are fighting internal sectarian street violence.
All of the leaders, the guys who were the chiefs and gang leaders are now in prison. You know, so there's no one out on the streets to control this. You know, it becomes a haywire.
40's on the way. Sorry, you got tape?
The gang enforcement unit is heavily armed.
Guy in the back seat. Keep your hands where I can see him. Come on out.
Sergeant Matthew Little is on the front lines. He is also a soldier with multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Especially working in Afghanistan, it's very, very similar. You're basically working gangs. It's a tribal culture in both places.
Just how violent the gangs are can be found in the numbers. While still well short of the historic highs of the early 1990s, the number of homicides stood at 203 through May. That's up from 134 homicides in the same period last year.
Sacramento from Harrison.